From the depths of the lowest of the low budgets and the most indie of the indiest films comes Manborg from Astron 6. This 70-minute extravaganza really shows what a group of filmmakers with very little resources are capable of. The film does look like a $2,000 budgeted film for sure, but that only adds to the charm. It's not the strongest or tightest script ever, but the project exudes the effort and love for the genres they are tackling. And it's all in the wrists with Manborg. The plot itself is a mashup of almost every pop culture film from the 1980s and some of the 1990s. From movies to video games, the film grabs from everything it can build to build its own thing. The story is as cliche as it can be, but it leads you to being able to pay attention to all the beautiful artwork happening in front of you. The tone of the film is pitch perfect, and it is the reason you ride this film out, even if it does look a little goofy to you at first. Stick it out, because as I watched this film with a whole bunch of friends who love the same type of 80s sci-fi action films that this film was basically based on, they absolutely enjoyed it, and by the end of the film, every single person in the room was cheering. The real artistry in the film are the practical effects. There are many monsters and creatures that float around the film, and they are all pretty great looking creations. The creativity is well above water with this team. Some of the humor may fall flat at times, but all humor can do that, but the film sustains the energy and laughs throughout its very short runtime. I think that this film would be best enjoyed with friends who are into these types of ironically toned films. I would assume the same type of people who don't like a film like this would probably also hate dogs. I highly recommend check out Manborg. Hey, before we go any further, if you like what you're seeing here, remember to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell, and you'll be able to see my videos whenever they release. Well, it's been a decade since Manborg, well, almost a decade, and the director Steven Kostanski has only upped his game over the years. His latest film, Psycho Goreman, keeps the tone of much of his earlier work, and the work from Astron 6, while receiving a larger budget and producing a very well-made, hilarious, nostalgia-driven film. If you do not listen to another second of this video, let the last second be, please go watch Psycho Goreman and Manborg. I highly recommend these films. Now, when I say I recommend these types of films, or these two films specifically, there may be a few caveats there. I truly believe that any film fan should be capable of enjoying this film, but they have to pick up and ride the tone all the way to the end. I enjoyed just about every moment of the movie, as it intelligently subverted tropes while sticking with ones that the director has established over his other films. The film is very creative, and the makeup and designs of all the creatures and monsters are amazing. Grade A, fantastic work, boys. It's kind of like if the Power Rangers and the Toxic Adventures had a baby. This is the film that would splash out 9 months later. The film is paced quite briskly, and the story includes a lot of backstory and world building. For a gross-out horror comedy, it really stands out in this regard. The films that this one is trying to recreate and subvert in some way are far worse at these aspects of storytelling. This film has all of the guts and gore any horror fan could want, and the tight script someone like me is looking for. I never care about genre. If the film is good, and it's a well-told story, and it has interesting characters, I'm in. The characters in this film are not the greatest people morally, but they're put up against something even less moral, and the film feels even more realistic because of it. Well, I mean, as realistic as a film like this can get. The main character, Mimi, can be grating at times, but her character finds what she needs at the end, and I think it pays off in a very funny and satisfying manner. There is a lot of heart in the film, even if you may not be expecting it. The relationship feels reality-based, and the pairing of an egotistical, selfish brat girl and an alien looking to destroy the entire universe works pretty well together and will flat out warm your cockles. The film rocks a synth soundtrack that is just flat out awesome. It fits the tone of the movie and cranks up the dial to 11 when the action kicks in and takes you for the ride. An absolute ridiculous ride to the very end. Please watch Psycho Goreman and support some independent filmmakers.
Petty displays of wealth. How can your short lifespans allow such narcissism?
Yeah, but look at all the hunky boys.
I do not care for hunky boys.